Hey YouTube, welcome back to UniX TCG. Sorry, right in the camera, I've been moving stuff around. You guys can see there's things not in the cases anymore. It is finally happening. We are about to get up out of here. We're gonna have a new setup. Can't wait for that to go live. In the meantime, once again, I have to thank all you guys for your support. The content just on One Piece has been going absolutely crazy, and I'm glad about that. For the people that came over here for the Dragon Ball, I will be jumping into the Dash Pack promos, like the Dash Pack spoilers soon. We'll be talking about that. I know Joey at Crossworld's been doing a pretty good job talking about that support. It's just that the momentum for One Piece has just been really crazy, and I'm trying to move. Otherwise, I'd be doing double uploads sometimes, like an upload for One Piece, and I'd turn around and just do an upload for Dragon Ball. So when I'm in my new place, we will be getting back to doing the Dragon Ball content just as regularly as we've been doing the One Piece content. Just gotta ride the momentum, you know? The whole channel is gonna grow, and it's gonna help us out. Last but not least, before we get into the current topic, I just want to say that I am trying to grow my other channel, so if you'd like to go down in the description and do me a favor, you can go like either of the two videos down there. It'll help them trend to my other channel, because I'm trying to get that one as to be as just monetized as this one. There's a bigger fan base over there, and I do love playing those games, and if I can get monetized in that channel, I will be able to get paid from YouTube for 2 channels, and we will do even more stuff. I'll be able to travel more for the card game, make more giveaways, all sorts of stuff. So with that being said, yeah, you can always join the Discord, or you can just, you know, like, comment, subscribe, help the video trend. And let's actually go to the split view so you guys can see what I've been running in Blue Week. So this week is Blue Week, so we will be running Doflamingo. Don Quixote Doflamingo, and this leader is actually pretty fun. So just going into him, when attacking, if he has 2 Don attached to him, you can tap 1 Don, reveal one of the top card of your deck, and if it's a 7 Warlords of the Sea with a cost of 4 or less, you can play it rested. So this allows you to start doing a couple cool things. One, it allows you to start playing off the top of your deck, and the reason why this is so important is because you start gaining advantage that doesn't have to come from your hand. This deck can keep quite the strong hand while playing cards, a card off your deck each turn. Like, one of your meaningful cards should be coming off the top of your deck almost every turn. Past that, Blue in general has the ability to draw cards when your hand is, you know, medium to low. So this is going to allow you to keep quite a spongy hand. And then on top of that, last but not least, since you're donning to him, or you're Don 2ing him, he's going to keep swinging for 7K. So he's going to swing for 7,000 over and over and over again. We've already talked, 7,000 against leader is the perfect spot for neutral aggression, because it's either going to hit, or you're going to have to take 2 cards out of their hand. So with that being said, let's actually talk about the deck list, and we'll move from there. Now I am new to Doffy. I played against it with green. I've beaten Doffy with red, but it has been back and forth, and I think that now that I've played some games against red with Doflamingo, I found that you do have to be kind of experienced in your matchup. I think the blue people I faced may have not been as experienced as they needed to be, and I know that I'm more experienced now playing against the red, so it's a little hard to kind of gauge that metric. But going into this, I'm gonna just put the deck into a couple pieces. One, there are the searchers, okay, or the rearrangers. Doflamingo needs to be able to rearrange its top 5 and or its top cards in order to constantly be able to go into your optimal plays. And I'm gonna go into this a lot more when I hit the everything you need to know about blue. But basically, you're able to sequence very well with this deck. It takes foresight, it takes memory, because you have to remember exactly how you set it up. But if you look at your top 5 and you haven't used Doflamingo's effect yet, which you shouldn't before you use your top 5, you can do things like, okay, well, this is the card I want to bring out with Doflamingo. This is the card I want to draw next turn. This is the card I want to bring out with Doflamingo's next swing. And that's the card I want to draw next. That's generally how it goes. But sometimes you can get a little even deeper. Like when you have love beams in hand and stuff like that, or a bowl on the field, you might sometimes even sequence it with, okay, I just played, you know, Piranha. Cool. This is the card I want to use for Doflamingo's effect. This is the card that I'm going to draw off of Love Beam. This is the card that I'm going to draw off of Boa, and then this is the card I'm going to draw for next turn. So you have 3 cards that aren't warlords that you want to flip off the top of the deck, and then your 5th card can be the other warlord that you want to use with Doflamingo's effect. This is pretty much the levels of sync, or like foresight you have to go through. So that is Perona. When you play her, she's a 1-drop. She searches your top 5, or looks at your top 5, and you can rearrange them in any order, and that's the way you sequence your deck for Doflamingo's effect. This is Trafalgar Law. You know what it is. He's just the dude. He's just a 1-cost blocker. We're gonna go over here. I'm gonna put this there. This is Alvita. She is just a 2K blocker. Next, we have the next rearranger. This is the crackhead Doflamingo, not JK, but for real, his art is ridiculous. So, yeah, like this is just Baltimorean Doflamingo. Who drew this? This is so weird looking, but I digress. He is a 3-cost blocker. Why is he 3 cost for a 4K blocker? Well, 1, he's 4K, and that's always going to be good. 2, when you play him, he's going to look at the top 5 cards of your deck, and he's going to rearrange them in any order. So he's going to be able to do quite a lot. Also, on top of that, since he is a warlord, unlike Perona, you can play him from the top of your deck with your leader's ability, meaning that you can play him and then, you know, rearrange your top, which is amazing. Speaking of warlords, you have got Teach, Marshall D. Teach, aka Blackbeard, and he's a very good card. He comes into play and he literally bounces something 3 or less. Now, something to know about Doflamingo's effect, the leader's effect. When you swing, it's an on attack, so he will be able to play the card, and the card's on play effect will be able to pop off before your opponent can choose to block. I won a game versus Kai today because he had no life and 5 cards in hand. And what I did was I untapped, I played 1 for Perona, searched my top 5, put Teach on my top of my deck. Then I put 8 Dawn underneath Doflamingo, making him a 13K. Then I attacked my opponent, tapped 1, played Teach, bounced his Kurizumi blocker to hand, and that was the game right then and there. He got an extra K, but I also was swinging and he couldn't block it. So very, very powerful. Also, this card doesn't say opponents. It says bounce 1 character, well, send 1 character with a cost of 3 or less to its owner's hand. So if you need to recycle certain things like Perona or Doflamingo, you can do that with Teach. There have been times where I just need to get deeper in the deck and my hand set up as good as it is, and they don't have anything I can touch with Teach. So I played Teach, bounced my Perona, just so that I could play Perona and rearrange my top. Another important card, very important card, Gecko Moria. Gecko Moria is the recycler. He's like the Uta of this deck. You might remember from the starter decks, but this guy is going to be able to get so many people. Already, he's able to fetch anything right here. When he gets played, he's going to be able to get a Warlord of the Sea, 7 Warlord of the Sea with cost 4 or less. Next, you have Jinbei. This card is trash. I did like it at one point because you get to bounce things and put them in the bottom, and then you put a Bonnie at the bottom, which they'll probably see again. Momonosuke at the bottom, which they'll probably see again. You put anything in Kaido, like a blocker, they'll never see that again. Red, you also put things on the bottom, they'll never see that again. But he's 4 for a 2K body that bottom decks the card. The triggers are better, I think, when you have like 4 copies, because then you can actually rely on seeing the trigger. I think this card is one of the first cards I'm going to take out. Next, you've got 4 Mihawk. Mihawk is very, very, very good. Mihawk is able to, he's a 2K just like her, but he's also able to, when you swing on swing with 1 Dawn underneath him, he's going to draw 2 cards and trash 2 cards. In this deck, there are sometimes you can get clogged with events or you know, cards that don't have counters, and he allows you to draw and just get those out of your hand. So he's good filter. Easily one of the best cards in the deck would be Boa Hancock. She is a blocker. I'll stop saying I promise. She's a blocker. And she's a blocker that when she has a Dawn under her, when she swings and you have 5 or less cards in hand, you can draw a card. But when she blocks and you have 5 or less cards in hand, you can draw a card. So she's good on the offense and the defense. She can be played from your leader. Anything in this row can be played from your leader, but some of them, like this blocker, probably not good. I mean, he can be played too. So she is amazing. Now, when it comes to boss monsters, I run 6, okay? We have got 3 Doflamingos and 3 Mihawks. They each have their purpose and place, but if I had to choose one, it would almost assuredly always be Mihawk. Mihawk may cost 2 more, but he's got 2,000 more of a body, making him harder to kill on the crackback and harder or better for him to press. But he also bottom decks a card, and there's some decks that aren't going to ever really regain that composure. If you put anything in red or purple at the bottom of their deck, just good luck for them ever finding it again. Purple's a little bit different, or blue's a different story, but I don't know why you're bottom decking things in blue that often unless you have to. And green is a definite different story because they go through their deck actually quite often. But he's going to be able to do his thing. And even when he can't bounce anything, like against the Kaido matchup, sometimes you just want to put him down. Like ultimate value against Kaido is putting this guy down and then putting a queen to the bottom of their deck so they'll never see it again, and then knowing that if they ever play something too fat and swing with it, he can probably crack it, forcing them eventually to play their 10 drop, because they really can't get rid of this card unless it's sideways and you get caught lacking. That being said, they're both really good cards. Against the Kid matchup, a lot of people are still playing the 7-drop Kid. I don't necessarily agree with it, but this guy puts it in its place, immediately punishing you for tapping 7 by tapping 7 of your own and then ruining their board. So that's pretty cool. As for the events, the first thing we have here, this is going to be controversial, is for Spada. Now on my first night playing this did not clog at all. This is amazing. On my next time playing it, like tonight when I'm recording this, there was a game where I had 3 Spadas in my deck in the same space, and I kept trying to look at my top 5, but I was always working around 3 Spadas. And what that caused was for me to lose against a Kaido, where I never saw a Doflamingo or a Mihawk. It actually sucked. But this guy is going to pay for 1, you're going to counter 2, and you're going to look at the top 3 cards and rearrange them, making this essentially in this group up here because it is a rearranger. But the other cool thing is its trigger is nasty. Draw 2, you draw 2, and then you're going to trash a card in your hand. So it's actually a +1, and it's going to help you filter through your deck even more. I love it. Next, this one should be familiar to everybody. This is a Love Beam. Just go up 4K, and if you have 3 or less cards in hand, you draw a card. Very, very easy to use, very, very comboable. And then you've got Overheat, which is going to cost 2 as well. But Overheat's going to give you 4K, and then it's going to return an active mode 3 cost or less back to the opponent's hand. But if you get it as a trigger, it's just going to return a card with 4 or less to the owner's hand regardless of position. So this is my Doflamingo match. Thus far, I have had red matchups, green matchups, and I've had purple matchups. The only matchups I have not had with the Doffy deck are actually just the mirror right now, so I definitely need to get on that. But I definitely had a 4-0 event, and then I had tonight I had a 3, or I had an X1 event, and then like this, or in the middle of this week, I did have one more where I went X1 again. So this is actually pretty cool. I definitely dig this deck. I know the Jinbeis are gonna go. I just don't know what I'm gonna put in quite for yet, because 2 cards is enough for an engine. As you guys can see, I'm not running the Centaumaru Pacifista line. I just need to see kind of what I'm trying to do and then move on from there. But that being said, this is my, just workshop prepping for the Treasure Cup. This is my current list for Doflamingo, and I will be tweaking it as the week goes on. I got maybe 1-2 more locals to go to, and then I will hit you guys with an everything you need to know about Doflamingo video. So thank you guys for watching this far. Like I said, if you want to just comment, like the video, help the algorithm grow, and I will see you guys in the very next video. Thank you.